All right, here we go on this Friday night edition of Knicks Postgame Live presented by PrizePicks. Game number 81 is in the books, and this one was a battle of the tanks. Knicks down in the nation's capital taking on a Washington Wizards team that was without Bradley Beal, without Kristaps Porzingis, without Kyle Kuzma, KCP, you name it. The Wizards tank was formidable, and there was a lot of lottery implications on this game. Knicks could have moved from anywhere between 9th and 12th, depending on a win or loss. And the way this game started out, you thought the Knicks were going to be in trouble because they weren't knocking down their shots, and Washington was clicking on all cylinders, man. I thought Ish Smith was going to have this thing in the bag. But just about the second quarter, things started to change. What changed? Obi Toppin lit this game on fire. Career high 35 points. RJ turned it up a notch. We would lose him to injury. Let's see what happens there. Shout out to Quickly, my guy IQ. Running and gunning the offense. You know, when he sees Neto and Ish Smith out there, it's personal. IQ leading the way. Taj, Jericho Sims. A full team effort, and the Knicks would turn this thing around in a major way. 36 points in the second, 35 in the third. Knicks win big. 114-92. 36 and 45 on the campaign in game 81. So let's hear from it. Let's hear from you guys tonight, man. How's everybody feeling in the chat? How we feeling about this one tonight? So it's a range of emotions, because this morning, everyone on Twitter, a lot of people on Twitter said, we got to roll out the tank. We got to roll out the tank. We're still starting Burks. Why are we still starting RJ? We're still starting about Burks, this, that, and the third. Knicks end up winning the game. You have Obi with his career high, 35. You lose RJ Barrett to a sprained knee. Range of emotions out of this game, but we got to start with Obi Toppin because he was unstoppable in this game. Career high 35 points, 14 from 22 from the field, 6 of 9 from downtown. I put a tweet out on Twitter. I said he went from chucking UFOs early in the year to being a splash brother, because Obi has been hot from downtown since being inserted into the starting lineup, shooting 40% from three in his last 10 games. Incredible. He's getting the leak outs in transition. We know that's his A game. Guards are finding him. You know, give credit to all the guards, whether it was IQ, Fournier, RJ, Quick. Everybody finding him. He's getting out in transition, getting easy buckets. You got to like the way he gets out, finds that mismatch in the post, seals off the little guy, gets an easy lay-in or a dunk. And then from downtown, 6 of 9 from downtown. Excellent, excellent game from Obi Toppin tonight. Once again, cementing himself as a starter on this team and gonna force the front office's hand or the coach's hand. Decisions have to be made. You saw Macri came on the show yesterday. We talked about it. Decisions have to be made. It's either you're going to play Obi and Julius together for significant minutes, or one or the other has to go for the betterment of the team. It cannot be both going into year 3. It doesn't make sense. If the coach doesn't believe that the two can coexist on the court, and maybe it's Julius's defensive efficiencies that he's worried about, because we've seen it on display this year. Maybe it's that. But the decision has to be made. You are wasting time playing this kid 12, 15 minutes a night. It is an absolute waste. It is an absolute waste. the decision has to be made. He was great tonight. 6 of 9 from downtown. Career high across the board. 4 boards, 2 steals, and a dime for Obi. So that's my number one game ball. Shift over. Biggest concern was RJ. RJ went down. Looked like a sprained knee, like a hyperextended knee. Went down on a layup. So that was a bit concerning there to see him exit the game. Clearly, he's not going to finish the season. Doesn't make sense to shut him down. And I think, I don't think it's anything structural or anything major. But we'll see. We shall see. Second game ball, got to go to my guy IQ, man. 23 points, 10 dimes, 9 of 18 from the field, 4-9 from downtown. I made a joke on Twitter. I said, when IQ sees Neto, he takes it personal, man. He was schooling the Wizards out there tonight. And again, when we do a season debrief and review the season, why wasn't this guy starting when the whole Kemba fiasco was going on? Emmanuel quickly should have been starting at the point. Look at the progress that he's made over this year. You want to tell me he's not a point guard, he's not this, he's not that? He's good for what we need right now. And boom, 10 dimes tonight. Cooking. His decision making has improved. His shot is coming along, and his confidence is straight through the roof. IQ has been cooking 6 boards, 2 steals for Emmanuel quickly. Should have been starting. I still don't know to this day why Alec Burks is still the starting point guard of the Knicks for meaningless games. Why not see what we have going forward? Why not evaluate things? We are at a critical off season where we have to decide if we're going to go out and get a point guard or if we're okay with what we have right now. This should have been done since the trade deadline. Since they benched Kemba. Forget the trade deadline. Go back to when they benched Kemba. Quickly should have gotten the nod. And yes, he finished a ton of games. He's been a very versatile guy for us. I understand that. We should have started the evaluation process at that point. Because it's not like he's going to be overmatched. He can hold his own. And you're still going to be relying on RJ and Julius to provide a lot of offense. There's still going to be high usage guys, even with Quickly in that lineup. Why not give it an extended look? Whether it was from when Kemba went down, trade deadline, so on and so forth. The Burks thing just made no sense. And that's my guy. Made no sense. None. Nevertheless, 36 minutes. Quick was great. Thought Sims did a damn thing again. 6 points, 9 boards. Held it down, protected the rim. Couple nice passes. Three dimes for Sims. Made a couple nice passes out there today. I feel like you've seen Sims's development over these games from when he got inserted as a, reliable backup. He got reliable backup minutes, and then starting now with Mitch hurt, I think Sims is taking a leap in his rookie season. Not as much out of position. You still want to see him come up, go back up with the offensive rebounds with confidence and with some force, and that'll come. It'll be all right. But I think overall, it's just overall defensive awareness has been on point. So shout out to Sims, man. We got a player there, and I think we have at the very least, a reliable backup. Again, decisions need to be made. Sims was great. Fournier did his Fournier thing. 6 of 14 from the field, 4 of 10 from downtown. Had a couple of nice ones to really extend this lead and really bust the game open. So that was a good job by him. I thought Taj, especially in the second quarter, man. Taj came in and gave us his Taj minutes. 10.6 boards, 2 steals, 3 of 5 from the field. Good job by him. And so if you're looking for the win, those are certainly the positives. Now, for those of you that are a bit more on the pessimistic side, those of you that are with the tank theatrics, Knicks are on the 11th right now in the Tankathon standings. You know, they have a chance, or at least they had a chance, to move all the way up to 9th. You get up to 9th, you get a 20% chance of cracking the top 4. You in 11th, you have a 9% chance. Now, it's not to say that, again, a lottery is luck. Draft is a lot of luck. It's not to say that it's a death sentence where they end up, but obviously you want to try to be closer to the top. So the win comes with some opportunity cost there. Obviously, you like the signs that you saw from this team, but in the grand scheme of things, you know, you're going to be looking at the 11th to 12th pick in the draft, most likely. What that gets us, we shall see. Long way away from making that determination. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Take a look at the team stats. The 3-point shooting really turned up from the second quarter on, man. First quarter, Knicks were really trying to feel the game out. Wasn't really hitting their shots. Finished well, man. 41% from 3, 16 to 39 from downtown, which was solid. 10 offensive rebounds for the Knicks, so the effort was certainly there. 27 dimes, you like that? 13 steals. Knicks forcing a lot of turnovers and had, how many points off turnovers? 33 points off of turnovers. So that's what really broke this thing open. And a lot of those, you know, came in the form of 14 fast break points. So there that is. 114 to 92. Let me salute some of the super chats that have come in. Salute my guy, Kane Marco. He says, we need that cold envelope again. Yeah, we need that frozen envelope, man. Eliusi sends a $20 super chat. Says, aside from calling the pick a dud, there was a post-game show. He said Obi was not ready. The minute sample size was not enough to make the call. Repent your sins and issue an apology. See, here we go. Here we go. The desperate Dianas to prove CP wrong on the Obi pick. Obi, you said Obi was a dud. You said Obi was a dud. Desperate Dianas, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys truly say you are fans of this show and viewers of this show, we broke it all down for you. Everything that you see here, number one, was broken down on KnicksFanTV Court Vision. We did our film breakdown. We told you about his prowess in transition. We told you about his playmaking ability. We broke that down for you 3 years ago. 3 years ago. All right? The desperate Dianas, man. Let me see what else I got in the archives, because I was getting at the desperate Dianas on Twitter. Let me see what else we got here. Let me see. This was from preseason. Let's see what CP said here. Let's see what he said here. Because Obi is really, you know, even last year preseason, that game against Detroit, you saw the flashes, but obviously he couldn't put it all together over the course of the year. But I think what we saw in the summer league moving into league. Now, it's slowing down for him. You can see that the game is slowing down for him, and just the confidence. The confidence that he's showing out there is on full display. So I think Obi's going to be a big piece of why that bench unit is going to be even more potent this season, this regular season. You don't say. Last night, another 13, 8 rebounds for him in the starting rotation. Okay. Played good defense. You know, Obi was solid defensively for us. Okay. Flashed a couple of threes, and Fournier found him for the backdoor alley-oop, which was popping too. Yeah, coincidentally, so this was a preseason game against those Wizards. Some good run in these first 2 games. Interesting. Okay, so that was October 11th. Okay. Let me see what else I got in here in the archives. I was just digging around, just doing a little perusing, if you will. Let me see what else I got in here. This was CP on SNY's The Putback with Ian Begley. Let's see what we said here about a little
How do you
Obi.
feel about Obi increasing the minutes or leaving them where they're at?
It's so hard, man, and I got to agree with everything that Sean said because Obi, when I look at Obi from last year to this year, it's all about energy. It's all about confidence.
Energy, confidence.
Making that quick decision out of the pick and roll, attacking the basket, finishing very well at the rim, 84% finishing at the rim. Knicks are plus 27 points per 100 possessions when he's out there on the floor. He's out there helping with that second unit. The chemistry with Derrick Rose is off the charts. He and IQ also developing that energy, and he's bringing it on both ends of the floor.
He and IQ developing that energy.
He's bringing that energy there as well. The question becomes when it comes to more minutes, and it's been a hot topic of debate amongst the fan base, is what do you do about your rim protection? Because your perimeter defense is breaking down so quickly that, you need a Mitch or Noel or even a Taj out there to be that presence to try to deter some shots at the rim. And I know that has to be a number one area of priority for Tom Thibodeau. So Tibbs has already said he doesn't want to go with Julius at the 5 because he doesn't want to wear him out. And he's already said he's been leery about playing those two guys together because of the lack of rim protection. So I just don't see where Obi's going to get an increase in minutes unless it's a situation like last night where we needed that, change of pace, that energy to try to come back into the game. And he brought that.
Deep.
Very interesting. This was when? November 11th. Okay, let's go back through the archives. Take a stroll with me. This is CP on WFAN's Evan Roberts show. Let's take a listen.
Clearly, Thibodeau has. Well, one thing that's also been encouraging is Obi Toppin. I mean, I think defensively he looks better. Clearly, Thibodeau has more confidence now playing both him and Randall on the floor at the same time, which is necessary. Because if they can't share the floor at the same time, then how the heck is Obi Toppin going to play 20, 25 minutes a night? It's not going to happen. So how about what we've seen in the early going? Certainly a lot of it on opening night with the double overtimes, and even last night of Julius and Obi Toppin coexisting and actually looking good on the floor at the same time.
They've looked great, and that was the biggest question mark, at least for me, when I thought about the drafting of Obi Toppin and how exactly he fit here. I said, look, if these guys can't share the court together, then we're going to limit him to 12 minutes a night. You wasted a pick on him. But wait, what did you say? Run that back, CP. What did you say? Let's hear that one again. Other than, we're going to limit him to 12 minutes a night. You wasted a pick on him. But said, look, if these guys can't share the court together, then, we're going to limit him to 12 minutes a night. You wasted a pick on him. But give credit to the kid. Hold on. I didn't hear that. Let's go back. Limit him to 12 minutes a night. You wasted a pick on him, but give credit to the kid. He's put in the work day in and day out. He's really been on an upward trend since the playoffs, followed by Summer League, followed by preseason and on. And Tom Thibodeau raved about that two-man lineup last night because, again, he's looking at the trends of the league, and he's looking at teams that, can space you out with 4 guys, even 5 guys on the court all at one time. The key thing with Obi that's also keeping him on the court is that his rebounding and his defense has been a plus. His defense was really a knock on him coming out of Dayton, but his defense has really been on point. He finished the preseason finale with 3 block shots, had a couple more in the season opener against the Celtics, and last night he was solid, man. So with no Nerlens Noel, with no Taj Gibson, Obi's been really giving us a lift in the front court. His confidence is on a whole nother level. So I have to give credit to him and his coaches and development staff as well. Let's give credit to him. Okay. October 24th. Okay. All right. I was just scouring the internet, just seeing what I could, just find, seeing what's out there. I do put this content out there on a regular basis. So I was just out there, just seeing what I had out there over the years. A couple of things I wanted to just put out there. You guys be the judge. Just a couple of things. Shout out to Blue Chair, $50 super chat says, thanks for the content, CP. Love the Clyde interview. Keep beating the drum for a point guard. Go Knickerbockers. Blue Chair, appreciate it. Ty Moore says, how does Tibbs praise Obi and IQ post-game yet justify limiting Obi's minutes and not starting quickly at the point? Why won't the beat reporters call BS when he says Burks gives them the best chance to win? Yeah, it was, I did listen to that Tibbs press conference. And the thing is that, he's here like, repping these guys and what they're doing. But like just a couple weeks ago, he said, you know, nobody's watching what these guys do in practice and only see like the one positive thing that they do on the court. What about the 8 mistakes that they make in practice? Then like the next week he says, well, if the kids don't play, how else are they going to develop? Well, that's on you. It's your job to figure out a way to get Obi and Julius on the court together or to stagger the minutes a little bit more. It's your job to get IQ into the flow of things. And he did. I still thought he should have been starting. So, yeah, I'm with you on that, Ty. It was a little bit of a head scratcher listening to that press conference. Shout out to Jamaica Queens 22 says CP unloading the clips like John Matrix and Commando. Like I said, I was just, perusing the internet, just browsing to see what might be out there. Just browsing to see what might be out there. That's all. Let me go to the phone and see what the people got to say, man. Let's start off with Dark Horse. Dark Horse on the Discord. How you feeling, bro?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, where I'm with it is, first of all, you ethered the Discord. Like, let's talk about that real quick. That was crazy. But on some real, I don't remember you ever giving Obi slander. The only thing I remember you saying is that you're not going to put our rookies and our young players on a pedestal. There's no more hives because you'd seen it with Frank.
Yeah, I did say that.
I did say that. Clay Anthony. I thought that's why I heard you say. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I said no more hives. I said no more hives. No more hives. They got to show and prove.
I remember.
Yeah, and I also
and you
said
no more hives. Yep, that's all.
I also said
but,
that his confidence was shaken, which it was at one point in the season, and that he was tentative. He was skittish. I used the word skittish, which he was.
Yes, you did. Yeah,
I did.
You're keeping it honest. No, I'm
keeping it honest.
I'm just saying that's not slander. It's being as journalism.
I'm keeping it honest. But if you look at
exactly.
90% of the content that I've done on him from the time he was a rookie through now, I even said drafting him was good value because I always thought they were going to trade Randall. Yeah,
agreed.
Go ahead.
Agreed. So where I'm at with it is, I said this a couple of shows ago when I called him. I already upgraded IQ to non-tradable.
Mm-hmm.
Obi has showed me enough. So really, no more tank. I don't care about tank. I don't care about another pick. We got a crowded rotation. We really got to figure out a way to ship Randall. And I'm trying to figure out, because we're like, hey, are we going to get a star? Are we going to get whatever? I do think it's addition by subtraction at this point. We're seeing what Obi's doing, the chemistry that him and IQ have. Who, if we're banking on IQ being the future point guard, you got to put the pieces around him that work. So for me, I'm looking at Randall for Grant out of Detroit. Grant went to Syracuse. You know what I'm saying? He's got fans out here in New York. But Grant's contract, it's one more year after next season. So that kind of gets us out of the Julius Randle long-term contract, gives us more flexibility. And then Grant's contract is going to expire at the same time as Kemba, Nerlens Noel, Burks, Rose. And that will put us almost at like 50, 60 million-ish, which will give us enough money to sign a star, not next offseason, but the offseason after. And re-sign Mitch. I know people are worried about. So for me, right now, offseason priority number one is to re-sign Mitch. I know he's injured, but dude really has had like a relatively healthy season. Right, re-sign him. Try to structure it so that we have room, not this offseason, but next offseason to sign a star, because we can with all the expiring contracts. But that's all I had to say. And
thanks,
I'm out.
man.
But no more slander at CP, yo. You gotta stop.
Listen. All them desperate Dianas, man. I could take the heat, man. It's nothing, man. These people, they come out when you with pea shooters. I'm used to it. It's the frustrations of a losing season. They want somebody to blame. They put me out there as a representation of the front office. I got players' family members put me out there as a representation of the fans. I'm taking bullets from everywhere, left, right, and center. and I show up every day, whether it's at MSG or it's right here on this show. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Hit that subscribe button. KnicksFanTV, Knicks postgame live, presented by PrizePicks. We in here heavy. 1,300 people in here. 81st game of the season, losing season, and we still here. Shout out to all the people in the chat that are rocking with me right now on a Friday night. 1,400 people. Let me put some respect out there. 1,400 people watching CAACP. Go in, Marcus Miller. What's good? Jackson Shaw, $20 super chat says, guys, it's a simple formula. The value of a pick that's made is judged by his production on the court. If he's not playing, he's not producing. If he's not producing, it's a dud pick. Doesn't mean he's a bust. Thank you, Jackson, for breaking it down. Thank you for breaking it all down. Shout out to Fugazi. $10 super chat says, nah, we don't need Mitch. It's all about Sims. Let me ask you people in the chat. Has Sims's play changed your feelings about Mitch and Mitch entering into free agency, the prospects of losing Mitch? Are you more comfortable with losing Mitch based on how Sims has been playing? How do you guys feel in there? My guy Al checking in from Cologne, Germany. Al, how you feeling? And if you guys are new in the chat, man, leave me a hashtag and I'll shout you guys out. Make sure I saw some more super chats. We'll definitely get to that. Let me get to the phones, man. It's about the people tonight. Will from LI. Will, go ahead and unmute your mic on the Discord.
Hey, CP, you got me?
Yep, good to go.
All right, there we go. Yo, CP, that's my type of petty, man.
Hey, they leave me no choice. I told them everything is in the archives. They leave me no choice.
The people's champ, man. First off, man, congratulations on an order. Congratulations, my dog, for 50K. Like I said on Twitter, it wasn't the 50 burger that we wanted, but it was the 50 burger that we needed.
No question.
But getting back to it, man. Listen, man. And it's absolutely true. The Obi thing is it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Because it's like we have people that have been saying things for a while. Now I understand this is, that's what I always appreciate about you, CP. You always here for the smoke. But I gotta come at you a little bit, my dog. Just a little bit.
Let's go.
Because why are you saying you're gonna keep Tom Thibodeau? Tom Thibodeau is the reason why we had the dilemma between Obi and Randall. He is a huge part. The front office has 100% part in it too. But it's you know the phrase, jack of all trades, the master of none.
Yeah,
that's where the Knicks are right now. You're trying to develop. You're trying to win games. You're gonna get the coach over here that has a certain philosophy that's so stubborn. We are still starting with Alec Burks with 2 games in the season left.
Yep.
I have never met a coach this stubborn in my life.
Yeah.
But either way, man, this is all I'm gonna say, and this is where the tomatoes are gonna come in for me. But I'm gonna catch strays because we all catching strays today. The trade for me. All right, because you always say you don't want to trade Randall because you still want a piece, right, in a future trade. If that's the case, guess what you got to do? You got to go look at that other team that's just as bad as us, that completely disappointed this year, bottom out, the Lakers. You got to get Brody, bro. You send over Randall, Evan Fournier, and maybe try to do a late first. Try to do a second, but if it's a late first, it is what it is. Russell Westbrook is value, okay? You let him play. You get yourself the point guard that Tibbs is going to play with, right? This is not tanking. We got a guy that can run the point. It's only for 1 year, and maybe you can flip him. Maybe you can use Brody in a trade to get that next player. I'm just saying, man, the Julius Randle, it's an issue, bro. It is an issue. We got to figure it out, and these are tough decisions. This is what desperation looks like. Russell Westbrook, Evan Fournier, and Randall, get the deal done. I'm going to let you be. Good night to you, sir. And again, congratulations on the 50K. So proud of you, my dog. Take care.
Will, what I'll say is I'm happy that you've been a day one fan of the show, a day one supporter. I'm also happy that I got a nice glass of scotch here that's keeping me from dropping you off right here. Because Russell Westbrook, come on, man. So you want to trade? Okay, trade Julius fine. You want to trade one of the best shooter on the team, and you want to pair Brody and Barrett, who will be building a construction business with the amount of bricks that they're shooting together in the backcourt, for the sake of getting a point guard. Move one headache for a migraine. I mean, Will, come on, Will. You were moving and grooving, man. You were moving and grooving. And then that last one, man. Whoa. He wants to trade for Brody. That's not the move. That's not the move, man. Nick Yak in the chat said speechless. I'm speechless, bro. He wants Westbrook. We already trying to get RJ to be more efficient. Now you're moving Julius. You're moving your best shooter off the team, and you're bringing in Westbrook. Oof. Oof. My 2 cents is take a swig. Yeah, I had to take a couple. Had to take a couple of those, man. Oh man. Westbrook. No, thank you, man. Sam, please make some sense of this, man. Sam on the Discord. What's going on?
He was doing so well.
He was doing well, man. He was doing well.
So well. And I heard Russ, and I said, no, not just say that man's name.
Drove us off a cliff. Oof. How you feeling?
Honestly, I know people are mad because we could have gotten a better pick if we lost.
Yeah.
But, look, if anything, it's going to give Tibbs a better gauge. We already all saw it. IQ and Obi have great connection. I've been preaching these two guys since the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And I know IQ is in a slump, and people are like, we got to trade him. And I defended this man. And it's panning out well.
Sure.
So the thing is, what I'm worried about when we make this draft pick, at what position that we draft at, because we have Deuce, Grimes, and Cam loaded up already. And then you throw in, because if we want to draft a point guard, that forces IQ onto the bench. And I know people like IQ coming off the bench, but I just want to make it clear for everybody, when IQ plays with RJ or Obi, it turns into great production because IQ is that second guy. IQ is the second guy, so he doesn't look for his shot first. Right. He looks for his shot second, finding RJ and Obi first. Now, when you push him to the bench, you now put him in that first option position. IQ doesn't produce well in that first option position, which we've seen over the course of the season. And so it's about maximizing your players. It's about maximizing the potential and seeing where you could build off, which is my only concern for this pick of where we go and how we do it. Because I personally want IQ at that starting position 1. IQ, RJ, Obi. Crazy big three offensively. IQ has a 6'10" wingspan. Defensively, I think he could well hold up right there. And when we maximize that, we could really make a dent next season if we really want to do it. And it comes with Obi getting playing minutes. Yeah. I know you're getting flack. I think I remember that game. You were saying Obi was a dud, but it was like 1:30 in the morning. We were just tired, man. We were just tired. That's all that happened.
Yeah. I mean, look. He had his moments where he wasn't that good. I said it as much. Same thing was Quick. When Quick was struggling, I said he's struggling. I'm not trying, I wasn't trying to get him out of here like some people. I said you gotta stay patient with him. But with the minutes that they're getting, especially Obi, he's showing that with more reps, with more minutes, he's able to get into a groove and get things going. But as you said, we've been tracking the progress of these two since Summer League. And it's been looking good.
Absolutely.
It's been looking good.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll drop off, but thank you for taking the call, and
man.
I'll see you. Good night.
Absolutely, bro. Take care, Sam. Thanks for calling in. My guy Junior Karoma, always keeping a buck. Y'all act like Obi wasn't struggling this year. Yeah. Simple and plain. You know, simple and plain. Shout out to Joanna, $5 super chat says, who do you feel should be the core to build around moving forward? Definitely RJ. I want Quickly here. I want Grimes here. You know, Mitch is questionable. I just don't know where they're gonna go with him. Is he a vital part of the core? Maybe not, but I still like the player that is Mitch. I like the benefits that he provides to this team, and I still think there's room for growth. But at the very least, I think RJ, IQ, Grimes should be that core. Now, again, what happens with Obi and Julius? I'd like to throw Obi in that mix, but they've got questions that need to be answered. They've got to figure that out. And Will from LI was saying, how do you absolve Tibbs for this season? How do you absolve Tibbs? It's not that I'm absolving Tibbs. I've been with you guys in the Tibbs criticism with the rotations and not playing. I've been on Tibbs for not going to Obi when he has had it in games off the bench, being that energy guy, and going back to the Julius well. Those of you that have watched this post games have seen that. But at the end of the day, the front office is still the front office that drafted him, that never traded Julius, and then signed Julius to a max bag after he had the year that he had last year. So you compounded the issue. On top of that, the coach is an old school coach and doesn't seem to believe that these two can coexist. We've been looking for it. That was the key question that we left off with after the Hawks series last year. Will he play them? Will he play them? Will he play them? Never happened this year. So now we go into another year without knowing if these two can coexist. Front office has some decisions to make, man. That's all I can say. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Shout out to Joe Schmo. Joe Schmo, team hashtag new. Welcome to the show, Joe Schmo. And yeah, man, we rocking on this Friday night. I'm going to load up some people here on the Discord. Fredo, go ahead. Since you unmuted your mic, let's go.
CP, what's up, man?
How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling great. All right, first things first. When it comes to Obi and Randall, I'm not saying that the front office is going to choose, but if they feel like they do have to choose, the first man out has to be Obi. He's not as... You might get
a lot of tomatoes for that, fam. I think Will from LI broke the record for tomatoes. But the Obi Hive is very Aggie. They're very, very sensitive. So you got to be careful with that. Say that again.
Okay, I'm going to say it again. If it comes down to having to choose between Obi and Randall, Obi got to go. Randall's the choice.
Whoa.
I'm not doing it to be controversial. I'm just doing it to be honest. As much as people don't like Randall, I won't get into that. But the truth is that Randall's just an overall better player. He's way more polished offensively. He's way more polished offensively, defensively.
Fredo is not afraid of the smoke.
Yeah, I'm just here to tell the truth, man. Like Randall is the best player on this team. I hope that RJ, I said it all season, hopefully RJ could be that number one. But as of today, Randall is the best player on this team. Tomatoes or not, it's the truth, whether you guys want to hear it or not. The second thing I want to talk about is, since you're bringing up some receipts from the past, I would like to pull out a receipt from the past and chat with you, CP.
Yeah.
Okay. On July 19th, I called in when you guys were having a show. Yeah. I went back and I found the tape, okay? You guys were having a show to talk about who's going to be the point guard of the future for the Knicks. And it was the main part of the show was talking about should the Knicks trade for Colin Sexton. I called in and said, the point guard for the future for this team as currently constructed should be IQ. I got laughed at, not literally, but I got laughed at when they said, nah, IQ's not a point guard. He's not a starter. He doesn't have the playmaking ability. I got tomatoes in the chat. Everybody told me in the chat, IQ's not it. Now look at everybody. So I'm going to pull an Ari and say, I'm going to get in my Ari bag and say, I'm always right. Okay? I'm always right, okay? And you guys don't believe it? Go check the tape.
Wow.
The last thing I want to say is this. I won't be able. I think Sunday's the last game of the season. Am I correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so I won't be able to call in. I'll be busy, but I will be listening. So I want to end the season off. I always like to be positive, and I want to end the season off on a positive note. It was a very disappointing season, but one thing, and all the people that might be upset at me could agree on, the one thing that we could all be happy about is after Sunday, we could officially put an end to the Phil Jackson era, and Joakim Noah's contract will come off the books. We will no longer be paying Joakim Noah on that stretch provision. So it's going to be a good day for the Knicks. Unfortunate way to end the season, but I think we have a very bright future.
Okay.
Let's go Knicks. CP, congratulations. I never got a chance to tell you congratulations on 50,000, brother. Next stop is not going to be 100,000. It's going to be 1 million. So let's go. KnicksFanTV all the way. Let's
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I gotta admit, I'm a little bit concerned about our affiliation, Fredo. I mean, the chat is roasting you right now. 35-point game from Obi, and you still are choosing Julius. Whoa, the chat was not having it. Wow. That's a tough one. That's a tough one, Fredo. I'm sorry, man. But I give you credit for standing 10 toes down. I give you credit. But that's tough. Fredo is not afraid of the smoke. Eddie Moss said, hang up. The chat has had enough of Fredo's theatrics. But so there that is. According to Fred Katz of The Athletic, Tom Thibodeau said he doesn't have an update on R.J. Barrett. Beyond that, it's a sprained right knee. Said he didn't know yet about a possible MRI. Said R.J. won't play in the season finale Sunday. So we figured that much. R.J. went down on a layup attempt. Didn't look so great. And, unfortunate, but it happens. It happens. Shout out Paul Quick. Fredo, they are coming for you, bro. Corey Mitchell, $20 super chat says, CP, love the show. Great job as always, brother. My man CP and Call-Us Night eating smoke like a forest fire. Respect. What is your realistic starting five next year? Hold this receipt for the future. Let's go. Realistically, let me think about this here. Let me think about this. You know what? I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to take another call. Let me think about this, and I'll come back to it. Luxembourg on the Discord. Luxembourg, go ahead and unmute your mic. Luxembourg, going once. Oh, Luxembourg, not ready for showtime. Nate's ready. Nate, let's go.
All right. You got me?
Yep, good to go.
All right, I'm not gonna be too long. I just wanna say something.
Yeah,
it's
check. Go ahead and
admit
check.
that you were wrong.
Do me a quick favor and turn up the volume on your microphone if you can. Just check the.
Hold on, let me see. Is it better if I just speak closer to it?
Yeah, are you on speakerphone? Sounds like you're on speakerphone.
Nah.
Okay.
What's good?
All right, go ahead.
But I'm just gonna say it's okay to admit that you're wrong.
Okay.
Like because I wasn't on the Obi train earlier this season.
I can't hear.
If he... All right, hold on. I'll hang up for a second.
No. You're good now. That was good. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say I was probably wrong about Obi.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's okay to admit that you're wrong about something.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna sit here and tell me that you know every single thing that's gonna happen about the season, that you're right on every single pick, like I'm gonna. That's just what it is.
Mm.
So like if people are gonna come through and say like, oh yeah, I was right on this.
Yeah.
I was right. It's like it's like we have front offices that are wrong with things. If some random Joe Schmo they tell me that they knew what was gonna happen, it's like I don't believe you. But that's just that on that. I think the one thing I want to touch on is like, how much do you believe in this March stretch of like our young players like being what they are? Because a lot you have to think a lot of these teams aren't trying as far as they are towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are tanking. You know what I mean? So I just want to know like, what do you buy from this stretch from our players? Like, do you buy Quickly's point guard play? Do you buy Obi's like new shooting?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I just want to know what you're taking away that you think will carry to the next season, and what you think isn't gonna like come through. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that's
no, I hear you. Appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. Do I buy Quickly's playmaking? I do. I do, man. I feel like, and it hasn't been perfect. Yeah, people will complain and say, "Oh, he's still getting tunnel vision," and sometimes he's a little bit hesitant when he gets into the lane in terms of the decisions that he wants to make. But the reads that he's making out of the pick and roll, I think that's real. I think that's real growth. I think that's something that we've seen him working on from last year, preseason, Summer League preseason, and into the season. I think that is real. Quickly's growth as a playmaker. Obi, I think he was always trying to get out in transition last year. He was always open for those lobs last year, and we had guards that just weren't finding him. That's his game. The three-point shooting, as of late, has been a revelation. Is that real? We'll have to see. We'll have to see, check a larger sample size. But so far as a starter, it's been pretty solid. But I think his game in terms of playing fast and getting out in transition, he's been doing that last year. We just didn't have guys capable of finding him. So that production could have been there last year. We just didn't have the guys that were capable. So now, next year, we'll see if Julius is on the team or not. Everybody's going to be under more of a microscope, including RJ, including IQ, including Obi. The tape is going to be out. How do coaches adjust? What do coaches do to take away from these guys? Well, that we'll have to see. That we'll have to see. Because that is one thing about Julius, is that Julius garnered a lot of attention. He garnered a lot of attention. Double teams, matchup zones, so on and so forth. We're going to see what happens with RJ next year. If the offense continues to flow through him and how he adjusts, how it impacts his shot diet. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. Very interesting to see. We'll try Luxembourg again. Luxembourg, we'll try you again on the Discord. Got to unmute your mic. Going once. All right, Luxembourg's sleeping. It's Friday night. They're not ready. They are not ready. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your boy. This is Knicks Postgame Live presented by PrizePicks. Knicks get a nice win tonight, man, over the Wizards, 114-92. If you guys are new in the chat, leave me a hashtag new. I'll shout you guys out. Big game from Obi Toppin. 35 points, career high. Emmanuel quickly chipped in with 23 points, 10 dimes, 6 boards on the night. And RJ Barrett left the game with a knee injury. So those were some of the key storylines of the game. All right, so we will take a couple more calls. Remember to support our sponsors. Go to prizepicks.com and a promo code KFTV for a 100% matching your deposit of up to $100. Tariq says, I need a Sandman from the Apollo. Yeah, I do, man. I definitely do, I definitely do. It's Friday night. Season's almost over. So I want to give the people some time to, express themselves. Tony Banks, $10 Superchats says, Quick and Obi are the truth. If we move Mitch, I'm okay with Sims. Okay. That's a good one. My realistic five. See, I don't even think Cam is a realistic starter at the 3. Knowing Tibbs, knowing my guy Tibbs and putting on my CAA cap, I still think you're going to see RJ and Fournier as your wings. Your 4 is either Randall or Obi. I don't know how the Julius thing plays out this offseason. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that they trade him. I don't. I think it's going to depend on if they get the deal that they feel they are satisfied with. They won't be desperate. I don't think they're at the point of desperation. I think they will do it if they find the deal worth their while. So I think Julius could very well be back here. Year 5. I think it'll be Noel. Or I think it'll be a vet minimum. A JaVale McGee type. I don't think they'll give it to Sims just yet. If Mitch goes, which I think he will, and I hope Noel goes. But I think you could see him there. Let's see who the free agent centers are. 2022. See if any see who the 5s are. Update. Let's see. Let's take a look together here. You have Nurkic, who they won't be able to afford unless it's a sign and trade for Julius. You have Ayton. Do they go big? Splash on Ayton? I doubt it. Derek Favors, Serge, Thomas Bryant, Zubac, JaVale McGee, Robin Lopez, Dwight Howard, Whiteside, Drummond. I mean, don't look so great. Don't look so great. I don't think Mitch stays, man. I don't think Mitch stays. So I think Noel is a realistic possibility if they don't trade him. And if Mitch leaves, I'm not necessarily so sure they trade Noel. So I'm going Noel. I think at the point, even though he's an injury concern, I think Brogdon would be the cheapest option to go get over Sexton and over Brunson. I think they could go there. So I think a realistic 5 would be Brogdon, RJ, Fournier, Randall, Obi, Noel. Now I know some of you might leave, but realistic. He said realistic. He said realistic. I think that's realistic. I don't think, as much as I want to see Cam get an extended look at the 3, they're not going to do that. Maybe he'll close some more games. Maybe they make a shift throughout the year. Somebody in the chat said Mo Bamba. No, I don't think so. I'm telling you, I don't know if this Randall thing is as cut and dry as some of you want it to be. I don't know. Hall of Fame Nation Sports says I'm holding on to Randall. He asked for a realistic lineup. I'll give you a realistic. I think the Randall trade is 50-50 right now. Don't get gas over these Obi. It's 50-50. You need takers. You need a good deal. And you need a front office that's motivated to take. I think over the last couple of years, they've shown that they've been willing to put him on the block. They've been willing to listen to offers. But him not playing and finishing the stretch of this year, I think is going to hurt. I think his whole value this year is hurt. So, I don't necessarily think that it's a cut and dry thing. We'll see what happens. Hilton McKenzie says, why will Mitch leave? Well, I'm not so sure. The Knicks will view Mitch as a by any means necessary player to keep because he's going to test the open market. So I've got to believe that they have their price in their mind and he's going to go to the highest bidder, whether it's them or not. So that's what I think. What do you guys think in the chat, man? What's a realistic, not a fantasy lineup, a realistic starting five for next year? Throw some in the chat, and we'll take a look at it. Hold this L, $5 Super Chat says, how do I call in? What improvements do you want to see from the young players? Randall is here to stay. I look around, nobody's going to take Randall. Nobody's going to take Randall. What improvements? I would say, starting with RJ, it's the mid-range. It's his pull-ups, which he himself has admitted he wants to see that improve. He's been trying to do it now in year 3. We'll see what happens in year 4. An intermediate jumper. That's one thing I want to see him improve on. For IQ, continue playmaking. We know his shot is going to be there. Continue to work as a playmaker to be a more complete player. For Obi, continue to work on his defense. Face-up game. And I think he'll be Gucci. You already know transition. He's a beast. He's a demon. The three-pointers have been looking good. Continue to work on that as well. But also just continue to, in a half court, be able to create for yourself. And he's shown that. But continue to work on that. For Grimes, putting the ball on the floor. We know his defense is A1. His three-point shooting has been A1. Putting the ball on the floor a little bit. Attacking closeouts. Would be nice. McBride is playmaking. That's something that he's admitted to me. That's something that, coaching staff wants to see from him. Continue to work on his playmaking abilities. We know the defense is solid. His jumper's there. Just continue to work on his playmaking. And I think that would be it. I think Cam has shown flashes of all of that. Playmaking, shot creation, shot making ability. I think Cam has shown that. He just needs minutes. I think he needs the opportunities that Obi's getting. JG says Grimes is just chucking threes. No, I don't necessarily think he's chucking, but that's his strength. And I think the knee injury hurt him. He didn't play tonight. Probably won't play to finish the season. So the knee injury definitely set him back. But, putting the ball on the floor is an area that, coming into the NBA was an area of improvement for him. So continue to work on that. And, I think that completes it. Sims, work on your putbacks. Be more aggressive on your putbacks. Rebounding is sharp. His rim protection has been pretty sharp. His screen setting has been sharp. Go up with more confidence. Little turnaround hook. Putbacks on the offensive glass. Or even just when you get the ball, off a pick and roll, if it's not a dunk. Something that you can rely on. High efficiency. And man, look, I like the young players that we have. I still think we need to consolidate in certain areas of this team. And the front office has a lot of work to do. J.R. Shaw, 1992. J.R. Shaw, what's going on? J.R. Shaw, go ahead and unmute your mic. All right, J.R. Shaw missing his debut. We're going to keep it moving. Xentrik, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, CP?
How you feeling?
I didn't think you were going to get me in here, man. It took me forever to do the verification.
Live and direct, man. You good to go.
All right. Well, man, I wanted just to say, man, I think everything that this team is going to do next year, I feel like it's going to be the same old thing. And I hate to say that, and I feel like that's what nobody wants to hear, but I feel like we're going to see Tibbs again. I feel like I feel like we're going to see, we're going to keep seeing Obi and Quick. But I don't know. I feel like this front office has put themselves in a position where they really can't budge. And if they do, they're going to get, backlash either way from fans or just
Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't really look good. But for me, in my opinion, I wouldn't go that way at all.
Which way are you talking?
Like with Tibbs and Randall, I wouldn't. Like from.
Oh, I'm losing you. We lost you, man. We lost Xentrik. Xentrik, you got to call back, man. You there? Oh, I got to drop you off the line, man. We had you there, man, but we got to drop you off the line. Try to call back in. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you.
What's up?
Michael, what's going on? What's up, man?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Let's go.
Okay. We won it. We won a game.
Yeah.
Okay, hold up.
Mm-hmm. You putting me on hold?
No.
Yeah, I'm here. Let's go.
This isn't Xentrik. This is Michael White.
I know. I'm waiting on you.
Oh, okay. Hey, man. One thing. I don't care about that what dud stuff. That doesn't bother me. I don't care. You can believe that. I mean, Obi proved he wasn't, so it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But also, Obi's a better player than Randall. He really is. He's a faster, quick guy. He can shoot. I told you he could shoot. It was obvious. Mm-hmm. He did it all through college. But it's going to be a problem with Tibbs. But, if Tibbs wanted to, they could play together. I think they'd play well together. And I think defense is a big deal. But then, second quarter, there you go. You can just put in Sims. So I think it could work. But I just wanted to let you know, and I want to reiterate it. Mm-hmm. Hey, Randall is not as good as Obi Toppin. And he's not.
I'm going to push back on this. And thanks for the call, man. I would say who's better for the team could be Obi. Who's better individually? I still think Julius is a better player. Again, two different things. Who's better for the team could be Obi. Who's a better player? I think you disrespected Julius Randle. I think a little bit, just a little. I think you insulted him just a little bit. To take from Goodfellas, Michael had me on hold on the Discord. There's always something with Michael, right? The Will Smith comment the other day. I had to give him a flagrant 2 this year. You got to be patient with Michael, man. You got to be patient, man. Ah, man. It's all love, Mike. It's all love, man. All right, Xentrik, we're going to get you back on. Let's see if your connection's a little bit better. Xentrik, what's good?
Yo. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Good to go. Let's go.
All right. Well, what I was saying was Randall and Tibbs, we're going to see it again next year, whether we like it or not. Mm-hmm. It's just going to happen. It's something we're going to have to deal with. But if it was me making the decision, I would not have it that way at all. Mm-hmm. Randall, in my opinion, he has to go, man. He's affecting this team on levels that are, it's unimaginable. The way that he carries himself, his body language, the way that he's yelling at the refs, we can't have that when we're trying to develop these young kids. Mm-hmm. He's setting bad examples. And he does every game. He's yelling at the ref like, dude, chill out.
Yeah.
And that's all I want to say about Randall. He's a good player, but when it comes to winning a championship, you got to have 5 guys on the team that are like hyping each other up, and they're saying things to each other. Yo, good job. This is you really need that camaraderie and that that gelling of 5 players to be a good team. We didn't have that this year. You know what I'm saying?
No question. The starting unit was so disjointed.
Exactly.
It didn't work.
But the main point I wanted to make, and I'll get out of here, is basically we're going to see it again next year. But, as Knicks fans, we're going to have to, like we've been doing, just push through it. And hopefully, this front office can make a change. But I like Tibbs, but he's just not he doesn't know the X's and O's, man. Like he's blown so many things this season, and we missed the playoffs by like a couple games. I mean, I don't even know how many games it was, but like, the stuff adds up. You make the wrong rotation, this went the wrong way. We lost the game by a couple points. We were up by 20. It's just not a good look, man.
Yeah.
So
all right,
that
man.
was it.
Yeah, thanks for calling in. Call back anytime, man. Call back anytime, bro. Good call. Good call. Salute to T-Bone, team hashtag new. T-Bone, how you feeling, man? Knicks postgame live presented by PrizePicks. We are cooking 1,500 people rocking with CP the franchise on this Friday night. Definitely got a shout out to all of you, man, because that's major. Knicks on game 81, nothing to play for. You got your own plans on a Friday night, but you rocking with me, so I definitely appreciate that. Shout out to RTT85, $20 super chat. He says Obi has arrived and he better not be leaving anytime soon. Iris Cox, $20 super chat. Definitely appreciate that. Salute to Woke Hogan. Says teams that barely miss the playoffs have won the lottery so many times over the years. I just don't care about draft positioning anymore. You gotta see how it plays out. It's all luck, man. He says, how can we be the best fans in the NBA when dudes are crying into their pillows over a dub? Yeah, look, I think my position on it was, if they won, great. If they lost, great. That's how I saw it. Obviously, if they win, there's some positives that you can try to take away from it. Tonight was Obi. Tonight was IQ, which is great. Their continued growth and development is certainly a positive to wrap this season up. And then we'll see where the chips fall on May 17th. Mike DiPiero, $10 super chat says, keep up the good work, fellas. Thank you, Mike. Who else? Porter Carroll, appreciate it, $20 super chat. Jackson Shaw, I got that one. I see a lot of them coming in, so I'm definitely going to read all of them. Iconic TV, $10 super chat says, CP, KnicksFanTV needs to sponsor a charity boxing event for the fans. Fredo owes me a dance. Whoa. Congratulations on 50K, hashtag all 82, hashtag right hand of God. So Iconic TV, he's trying to take the battle of the fans to the boxing ring. KnicksFanTV pay-per-view battle of the fans. We might have to get it done. We might have to get it done, ladies and gentlemen. Cynthia, he says, Fredo, how much is Randall paying you? Cynthia coming with the smoke. And supposedly Randall has unfollowed these people, and he's doing a social media purge. Maybe he took my advice. Maybe the Randalls are listening to CP the franchise. Go easy on all the social medias. It may not be the best thing for you. Take a break. Reassess things. Maybe they're listening to me. I don't know. Just don't know. Yeah, Fredo, if you want that smoke, I can set it up, man. I am a man of the people. I do view myself in that Vince McMahon type of lens. I will try to set it up. If you want to get it cracking, hey, it's nothing but a phone call. Iconic TV versus Fredo, battle of the fans. We'll get you some headgear. We get you some gloves. We just go to Walmart, get you some gloves, fitted, get some insurance. We good to go. A KnicksFanTV sanctioned boxing match. Yeah. That's a fact. Let's see. Who else wants to chop it up? I got to get to my prize picks in a little bit. Friday night, we chilling. Let's go. Roger goes home on the Discord. Roger, how you feeling?
Salute CP, salute chat.
How you doing, bro?
Doing good. The Desperate Dianas, they're not all 82. That's the problem. You've been consistent with your takes.
Yeah. They like to cherry pick to suit their narrative. They like to cherry pick. It's all good.
Yeah. I like when the young guys capitalize on their opportunities. Mm-hmm. So great game by all of them, especially Obi. But I do, to disagree with the one of the previous callers, I do agree with you that Randall is a much better player right now.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of questions with Obi. But the first strike was when you put the you gave the comes down to the fans.
Yeah.
The second strike was the lack of effort consistently.
Yeah.
And I think the third strike for me was that social media purge that he did. I think it brought a little bit of negative energy. It's bringing negative energy. Like, we already have Dolan, who keeps messing everything up with his negative energy. We don't need this with this franchise, you know? We have enough of that. So for me, I think we got to move on from Randall. I don't know how we do it, but that's all I got to say. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate it, man. Bro, always appreciate the call, man.
Appreciate you.
You know, I don't know if to make of the social media thing, man. Maybe I'm just not of that generation. I don't know. You know, he is 27. I'm 37. I don't know, man. You know, players do it. I don't know if it's like an attention thing. I'm not sure what all that is about. I try not to read into it. So many people tag me in it. Like, did you see this? Do you see what's happening? I don't know, man. I don't have the energy to read into what it means when a player takes his team out of his profile on TikTok, and I can't do it, man. I can't do it. We'll see. We will see. If he wants out, bye. See you later. I have no problem with it. If this is too much for him, pack your bags, and we'll make it happen for you. But I'm just not sure. I think it's a 50-50 thing, man. I really think it's a 50-50 thing. We'll see, man. We'll see. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D in the building, man. Everybody drop a PE in the chat. Salute my OG, man. He's out here in the Moz chat vibing with us. Salute to Chuck. Definitely appreciate you. Who else we want to get to before we wrap? Let's go to Cynthia. I see you're going to close for us. Let's go to your Lord and Savior, Mr. Bad Guy. Let's go. Go ahead and unmute your mic. Your Lord and Savior, Mr. Bad Guy.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Oh man. Let's finally speak to you. I've been meaning to call in for a while, but guess I'm a little camera shy, but feel like you give me enough time.
Yeah.
I might become one of them KFTV legends, you know?
Hey man, well now is your time.
Let's go.
Fire. Let's go.
My time, CP, let's do this. So first of all, honestly, what motivated me to finally call in was this Fredo fellow.
Oh.
Now I hear we might be setting up a boxing match. But honestly, I feel bad for him because everybody in Knicks fandom, when they hear this, is gonna be like, "Hey, yo, if the other guy can't do it, I'll be the backup."
Yeah.
Because I just I don't think you're crazy, for example, to say individually between Obi and Randall who's better. It's Randall probably. Like I can accept that at his theoretical best, you know, Randall is the better player right now. Now, granted, Randall is an 8-year veteran, number one. Number two, his theoretical best, quote unquote, came in a contract year. Yeah. And yeah, he was an all NBA player. Can't take that from him. It's in the history books. But then again, Thibodeau was coach of the year last year, and look where we are now. Like, we know he can theoretically be way beyond what we expect out of Obi right now. But at the same time, look at this year.
Yeah.
And Randall has not been that all-NBA player. He's been missing shots. His three-point shot is not great. Even his mid-range shot is not great. All those contested step-back middies and post fadeaways that he was hitting last year, he's not hitting them this year. And off that alone, and now Obi's getting more minutes, and you could say, well, it's against lesser teams, or although granted, I'm pretty sure he got his first 20-point game against the Heat. Like, you can say whatever you want about Obi. At the very least, their play styles are better for the team, or rather, Obi's play style is better for the team, and Randall's is just not. Like, in order for Randall's play style to work for any team, he has to be hitting at a ridiculous clip.
Yeah,
and like not even league average. Like, he has to make Melo look like a chump. Like, for him to dominate the ball that much and do what he does, and he doesn't. He turns the ball over. He misses shots. doesn't get back, complains to the referees, but see, all of that would feel like, okay, maybe that's coachable. But then that's when you factor in, like, I don't care how much better as an individual player you think Julius Randle is than Obi Toppin. When you got two players where one is the malcontent who put a thumbs down to the fans, and then after he had time to cool off and think about his actions, reaffirmed that thumbs down was to Knicks fans, telling them to shut the F up.
Yeah.
And who has that's not a good look, man.
That wasn't a good look at all. It wasn't a good look at all, bro.
Tanking your value. You're like you are doing this after you got paid. You're worth $111 million. Now, despite being an All NBA player, somehow that contract is an albatross that we can't figure out how to get rid of. The social media thing is what it is. Maybe it's better for his mental if he stays off of that. I mean, hey, that's for him or whatever.
Right.
But his actions, he can't handle that Obi Toppin is getting love from the fan. He can't handle that RJ is becoming the number one guy.
Yeah. No, I got it. I hate, bro. Look, it is a complex situation that this team is in, and I'm not. Fredo. I thought Fredo was wild. I'm not just saying it's. You got to get rid of Obi. You got to get rid of Obi. I'm not so black and white with it. Because like I said, if you get a good deal for Julius Randle, I trade him in a heartbeat. I'm just leery of trading low, selling low, which right now doesn't seem like they'll have any choice but to sell low. So I'm not so sure which one of the that it's just Obi has to go. No, I wouldn't necessarily say that, but they're in a tricky spot. They're in a very tricky spot. Very tricky spot, man. And you're right. The Julius thing, giving the thumbs down to the fans. I don't think he's going to recover from that. Only thing that'll help him recover from that is playing well and winning. And him winning is going to largely depend upon the type of roster that they field next year. And how they gel, It's a lot of questions with this team. What do you guys think in the chat, man? Rate that guy's call, man. He was a little bit nervous. He came in a little bit nervous, came in slow, but I thought he picked it up, did his thing. Your Lord and Savior, Mr. Bad Guy. I'm not sure if that's a Razor Ramon tribute or what, but he's on the Discord. If you want to, vibe with him on the Discord, go ahead and do so. Rate that call, man, 1 through 5. Rate that call. Shout out to Sean Wilkinson in the chat. KG7 Full says it was a dud business decision to pay Randall. Well, however you want to look at it, the Obi pick, the Randall Max, we have ourselves a conundrum, don't we? Highlighted by Obi's career high 35 points. Is this a guy you want to keep on your bench? How does the coach maximize the two players if they're still on this team? Questions that have to be answered, man. They are in a tough spot. C-Do7 says, can't wait to see KFTV cover this interesting offseason. We will be all over it. You guys know that have been fans of this show. We're going into year 5. July 2022 will be year 5 for KnicksFanTV. It's going to be an interesting offseason, man. But we're going to be all over it. We'll be in Miami for the lottery. So those of you in the Miami-Dade, Fort Lauderdale area, come through, come down. We'll have a Knicks fan meetup on May 17th. We'll watch the lottery. We'll do fan reactions and everything. Come through. Come vibe with me, man. I'll be down in Miami for that. Shout out to J Cal. I'll be down at J Cal's All In Summit. Very much looking forward to that. So if you guys are in the area, make sure you come through. We'll make some more plans as it draws near. But Miami will be the spot for me. And if you guys aren't down there, of course, we'll be live streaming everything. So the lottery will be first, and then the draft. The lottery's May 17th. Draft is June 20. It's a Thursday, June 24th. I think the draft is June 24th. And then I'm not sure when free agency is. Hang tight while I go through my calendar here live on YouTube. The draft is the 23rd. June 23rd is the draft. So make sure you tap in. Keep it locked. Number one show for the fans by the fans. Rhyme Animal Chuck D says, salute Knicks Nation. I'm old as hell, but y'all look it up. When I was a child, Walt Bellamy was a Hall of Famer stats for the Knicks. Hall of Fame, he had to go. Dave DeBusschere was the proper fit via the trade. Yeah. So what Chuck is saying, sometimes it's the better fit for the team versus who's necessarily the better player singularly. And I think he's right. I think he's right. But this team still needs a star. Make no mistake. This team still needs a star. This is why Leon is here. Still need a star. So shout out to S. Gomez, says hashtag knew we out here in Miami CP. Okay, S. Gomez, definitely pull up. We'll probably do something like, Cleveland or something. We'll make some plans, do something down in South Beach. And we'll do the damn thing. Looking forward to that. All right, a couple more calls for a wrap up. Let's go to, we're gonna load up Jan, we're gonna load up Cynthia, and then wrap. Edgar, I'm gonna cut off the phones. All right, so Jan from DC. Jan, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, how's it going?
Yep, good, man. How you feeling?
Not bad. Was at the game tonight.
Oh, you were there in DC. What was it like watching in person, man? It sounded like Knicks Nation was in there heavy.
Oh yeah, we were really in there heavy, and it was really live crowd. Had really good seats. My wife got me tickets for my birthday, so it was awesome.
Happy birthday, man! When's your birthday? Today or yesterday?
Today.
Nice. Happy birthday, Jan in DC, man. Nice.
Thanks a lot, man. The one thing that I would say going into the off season is, I understand what you're saying about the Julius Randle and Obi Toppin. The fact that I don't know that they can't coexist, but I know that they can't coexist under Tibbs, and I think that's the issue, is his inflexibility and unwillingness to try.
Yeah.
So we didn't even get experimentation from him this season, and that's problematic. I'm not advocating.
Yeah, and bro, we were looking for that from last year. I'm like, they've got to get these guys on the court, and it still didn't happen. It still didn't happen at a consistent rate.
There's no reason for it. Even now, when there's literally nothing to play for, he's not trying new things. He's still keeping the same substitution patterns. He's still, running the same stuff. I felt optimistic in the preseason when we were all chucking all those threes that he was gonna try some new stuff this year. But I think it's it's worse. But the point I wanted to make was going into this offseason, so obviously the trade value for Julius Randle's at an all-time low. But I mean, if they're really looking to make big moves, Quickly and Toppin have both really helped themselves. If we're looking to consolidate the roster, as you say, do you think that they'll consider moving either of those guys?
Well, we did hear during the trade deadline, at least one report was that they took both of those guys off the table. So, that certainly made you feel good. And so I don't think those guys, I don't see those guys getting put in anything other than a major, major deal as part of a framework package deal for something big. So it's not a Miles Turner type of thing that you're going to get rid of one of those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I honestly think that Quickly has really helped his stock this year, and he struggled early on, but I think part of it was, last year when you saw him play with Rose, there was just a lot of he had a pretty questionable shot selection, and even in the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. But I really feel like, part of his struggles was that he was trying to incorporate more playmaking into his game. Mm-hmm. And now you're seeing it. You see him out there, and especially tonight, a couple of those plays where he was directing traffic, and then he threw the lob to Obi, right? As he was directing the offense. I mean, he looks really great as a floor general. Mm-hmm. And I sort of would like to see him get a chance to start going forward.
Well, my man, I've been trying to see that for a good 3/4 of the season, but for whatever reason, the coach went against that. And again, there's some aspects where I agreed in terms of with Rose out, needing that dynamo, that spark to run that second unit, and I thought Quickly did that once he got into his groove. As you said, he struggled early out the gate because I agree with you. It seemed like, he was really thinking out there when to shoot, when to pass, when to get guys involved, when to go get my own shot. And so it hurt his game overall. And then he just got into a groove, man. He really, really locked in the last, 30 games, I believe. If you go back and look at it, he really locked in and got comfortable. Yeah. So there was a part of me that said, yes, I want to see him starting, especially when the whole Kemba fiasco went down. But then there was another part that said he's running the second unit very well. He's still closing in the fourth. He's still a major piece. Outside of Julius and RJ, you would have to argue that Quickly was the third most important Knick for the most part of this season.
No, I'm with you. I just really I don't know. For me, it's more of my frustration with Tibbs and his unwillingness to experiment.
Understandable.
And again, I know what he's great at, but he's also so rigid in these, when he has a game plan, it's how many 20-point leads have we lost this year? Yeah. And part of that is just failure to be flexible and adjust to the people's adjustments to you. But my last point about Julius Randle's social media thing, I mean, I'm not trying to read the tea leaves or anything, but I sort of think it's a good thing. Delete it, get off there. Yeah. You don't need to hear people flaming you. It can't help his mental health, and so get off there and just live your life. Hopefully he comes back with a renewed motivation next year. If he's
I
still
hope
here.
so, because if he's on the team, we're gonna need him to, and appreciate the call. This was a trying year for him, man, because I still can't pinpoint exactly what happened to him. Maybe it's a combination of fans being back, him being back to who he is or who he was, the contract, the pressure, fans booing. Or maybe it was a combination of all those things. But I still think that's the biggest factor why the Knicks aren't in the playoffs. I don't think it's, yes, Tibbs' decision-making, his rotations, I'm sure it costs some games. But if your best player is not playing like your best player, you're not going to be successful. That's the part where, I don't agree with some fans. For example, the Nets game. you know, I'm sitting there live and direct watching that Nets game. I watched the first half, and I'm like, okay, we got a sizable lead, but this is a lead where Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, you didn't even know they were on the court. They weren't even activated. And we see that time and time again this year when a team is coming on the second half of a back-to-back where they start the game off very slow. Then they pick it up in the second half. The Lakers did that to the Knicks when they played the Lakers at MSG. Same thing. The Knicks did end up winning that game. But, you know, I'm watching this Nets game, and I'm like, yo, when KD and Kyrie start playing their game, we're going to be in trouble. And sure enough, that happened. And sure enough, we lost. And then I'm still seeing people like, oh, it's Tibbs' fault why we lost. Tibbs lost this game for us. I'm like, you got a severely undermanned Knicks team going up against two of probably the top 10 in the league. When they are on their A game, forget about it. Talent plays out, man. I tell you guys this all the time. Talent plays out. When your top guy isn't playing well, you're not going to win. Oh, and by the way, you're arguably your second best player, most reliable, Derrick Rose, missed a large chunk of the season. How successful do you think you're going to be? And that's not just on the coach tinkering this, that, then take it. You just don't have the talent to get you to close some of these games. That's just my opinion. Players play, man. When these teams lose and they go into the offseason discussion isn't about, oh, how the coach is going to make this team better. They're going to say, who do we need to be better next year? Which players do we need to be better next year? Yes, the coach makes a difference. I get that. The coach makes a difference. But it's got to start with your pieces first. That's why I say when I came out, when they initially said they were going to keep Tibbs, that's why I say this is more on Leon than it is Tibbs. I didn't say it's not on Tibbs in terms of who's to blame. I said it's on the front office. We need players. We need horses. All these role players we got right now, they're good. I like these guys. But you still need that top end. You need that top end talent. You need top end talent. Role players don't take you to the playoffs. You need top end talent. Talent is the most important thing in the NBA, man. Then once you have that talent, then you can say, okay, you know, is the coach getting the most out of it? Is his tweaks, is his in-game adjustments getting us these wins when the rubber meets the road? You need that. Look at the Bucks situation. Remember when everybody was trying to run Budenholzer out of the league? Oh, he's the worst coach. He's terrible coach. He's this, he's that, and third. Then they win a championship. All that goes out the window. Their talent produced. Their talent produced. The Greek Freak had one of the most dominant games that we've ever witnessed. Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, that is talent. You have a superstar, you have two borderline all-stars. That is talent. That is talent. That's not coaching. That is talent. Talent wins games. So don't tell me that because the Knicks blew a 20-point lead to the Nets, it's the coach's fault. A 20-point lead in the NBA is nothing. Nothing. When Kevin Durant, I'm watching Kevin Durant, I'm right behind the basket, I'm watching Kevin Durant rise and fire over guys. There is not even a fingernail near his eyes to distract him from getting his buckets. The best player in the league went off. So don't tell me it's Tibbs. They didn't play McBride. They didn't play McBride long enough to get the win over the Nets. When Kevin Durant is destroying the team single-handedly on both ends of the floor. He's schooling RJ. He's ripping the ball from him. and then he's coming down on the other end and schooling him again when RJ's playing defense. The best player in the sport. Don't tell me it's because, they didn't run with the second unit long enough or this, that, and the third.
90 seconds.
We weren't good enough. Sometimes it just comes down to that. We were not good enough. And that is where the front office comes into play. Can they get us on that path? It doesn't have to be a home run this offseason, but can they get us there? Still have to be seen.
60 seconds.
Edgar, once we'll get you in once the phones run out. But let me get Cynthia in here. Cynthia, once you hear me, go ahead and I'll mute your mic. Cynthia, going once. Cynthia, can you hear me? Eddie Marr, why Tibbs put RJ on Durant? Come on, stop defending. Who you wanted to put? Hunt? Who did you want guarding Kevin Durant in the Nets game? Please. Somebody give me a better idea than RJ. Was it Fournier? Was it Obi? Who you want, Taj?
10 seconds.
Who did you want guarding Kevin Durant in that game? Quickly? Come on, man. We got to be realistic, Eddie. Come on, man. Why did he put RJ on Kevin Durant? Because unless Archie Diacono was growing 10 more inches, we had no shot. Let me try Cynthia again. Cynthia, can you hear me? Obi, give me a break. Cynthia, can you hear me? You would have gotten the same result. Cynthia, testing. All right. Can't hear Cynthia. Let's go Femi from BK. Femi, if you can hear me, go ahead and unmute your mic. Okay. I'm not hearing Femi either. Okay. All right, so we'll go to Edgar. Go ahead and unmute your mic on the phones, and let's just wrap it up with your call. Yep.
What's up, CP? Can you hear me?
How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. First of all, congrats on everything you've done this season. Everything's been great. I'm very happy for you and your success.
Thanks, man.
Second of all, no problem. Second of all, listen, Julius Randle, he has to go. This is coming from somebody that supported him his first season, even though it was a stinker. Second season, we all know what he did. He became the king of New York, basically, and whatnot. This season, I tried to support him as well. You know, I wanted him to turn it around just so he could help the team. He kind of did it in terms of his play a little bit. He was averaging, 25, 10, and 5, was shooting 41% from the field, 30% from the 3. That's a stinker, but still, overall, some solid numbers, right? But the antics, right? The thumbs down, the not picking up your teammates when they're down, not showing up for post-game press conferences, letting a 21-year-old RJ handle the pressure of that, not dapping up fans, like when they're giving you their hands, like when you're coming out of the tunnel, when every player is doing so. That's the type of stuff that, gets a fan base to turn on you. And like I said, he was the king of New York. He had it all. He could have had more. And he decided to throw it all away with his behavior. So it's not even the play. It's just the behavior. He has to go. And listen, I'm going to put it this way. Evan Fournier, early in the season when he was playing like crap, he got the smoke from the fans. Alec Burks, he's gotten the smoke from the fans. When Carmelo was here, he got the smoke from the fans. Amari got the smoke. You name it. These guys have gotten the smoke. But you know what they never did? They never went against the fans. Sure, they might have been frustrated here and there. They might have said, like, hey, man, some of the fans here are tough. You know, they give us shit. I mean, I didn't mean to curse. They give us crap at times, but they never picked a fight with the fans. They took the smoke, and at the end of the day, they were all professionals about it. That's where Julius Randle lost. The second he decided to stop being professional and went against the fan base, that's when he lost. He, like I said, he had it all. He could have been really successful. And now you go into next season, and to start the season, he's not even going to have the fan base behind his back. That already creates a difficult situation to start. So, listen, if he somehow turns his play around and decides that he wants to be a better teammate, I know the fan base might decide to, you know, take him back, I guess. But if not, he just has to go. And listen, Obi Toppin, at the end of the day, to me, he has the more upside because, one, he's younger. Two, he's improving. We're seeing it with the minutes he got as a starter late this season. And three, it's just he's going to be less money at the end of the day. So you're going to have to keep Obi. I would go with Obi.
Okay. All right, good stuff, man. Great show, Edgar. Remember, it's a family show, fam. You, of all people, should know, but it is what it is. It's all good, man.
My fault. I try to catch myself there.
All good, man. Enjoy the weekend, bro. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You too.
Yes, sir. Edgar on the check-in. Great show, though, man. You know, like I said, game 81. We still got 1,400 people rocking with us heavy. Remember to support our sponsors, man. Go to PrizePicks.com and a promo code KFTV. PrizePicks, daily fantasy sports made easy, man. Here's where I went on my PrizePicks props today. I went with Pascal Siakam under 43.5 points. Raptors playing the Houston Rockets. Raptors resting guys. They were resting Van Fleet, resting Anobi. I figured they would get Pascal a rest as well. So I went under. On some of these games, you figure they're resting players now. He finished with 48, so I didn't hit that. I went Trae Young under 3 points made. Hawks visiting the Miami Heat. He ended up pushing that one. He made 3. So I won't lose. I won't win on that one. I'm still alive. Now, the next pick I made, I went back on the 3-pointers. I got Bojan Bogdanovic over 2.5 threes. Jazz and the Suns right now. Jazz up by 12 with 8:52 to go. He's not in the game right now, but he's one more 3-pointer away because he's got 2 so far. So I'm getting close on that. Cleveland and the Nets, I went 2 overs. I went Garland over 24.5. He finished with 31. I went with KD over 31.5. He finished with 36. So I did hit those. So I have a chance to win 3 and push on the 4th out of 5. So not a bad day at the office for CP the franchise. So for you guys at home, try your luck, man. The Masters is on, so you can play overs and unders on the Masters. Baseball is in season now, so you can mix and match sports. But I stick with the NBA, and you pick 2 to 5 players, and then you're just gonna predict over or under the stats that PrizePicks has outlined for that particular day. Now, obviously, for the Knicks, you got one more game to play, but obviously NBA playoffs, it'll be there as well. So play to win, play responsibly. Go to prizepicks.com and a promo code KFTV for a 100% match on your deposit of up to $100. Also, Manscaped, go to manscaped.com and the promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. And remember that these shows are available in audio podcast format. All the major platforms. No excuse to miss it. If you miss it on video, all good. Catch it on podcast, and you're good to go. Catch the show that we did with Jonathan Macri of Knicks Film School just yesterday, and the Clyde interview. Got tons of content, more to come. Stay locked in. Number 1 show for the fans, by the fans. Let me salute the rest of the super chats that have come in. As Hassan Whiteside and JaVale McGee battle it out for the battle of the washed up centers. Shout out to Ivan Myers, $10 super chat, says, do you think it's possible to trade Noel Randall Burks for Westbrook and a first-round pick? Then trade the 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and Kemba for Donovan. And then we bench Westbrook. No, I don't see that happening. I appreciate the super chat. I don't see that happening. Tom Herrera says the chemistry is better because these guys play for each other. No one man is bigger than the team. Obi's selfless and shows gratitude. Breath of fresh air. We need a good vibe and no moody tantrums. I hear that. LP says lots of questions, but the main one is, can the Knicks break their decades-long curse of mediocrity? And when is the moment we find out? Positivity and patience. Shout out KFTV. It's been so long. Talent, 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 talent. Talent. Maxwell Walter. $10 super chat says, salute. Donovan Mitchell is that guy. Should be our guy. Already bought into the city and the Mets. Edgar says, CP, can I hear your win starting lineup next year? My win starting lineup. My win starting lineup. Donovan Mitchell, RJ, Fournier, Cam and Mitch. Obi and Mitch. That's my win starting lineup. Shout out Troy Davis says Obi's development was slow on the Tibbs. Randall is not healthy mentally, but more skilled. But he doesn't have the wisdom to utilize it. Obi's better. Truth and Lies of the Philippines says we need a Batman. RJ's a Robin. How do we get it? Donovan Mitchell. Gotta hope to get the Spider. Hold this L. Oh, I got that one. Corey Mitchell got that one. Jeremy Maynard says, is it true Randall removed Knicks everything, including teammates from his social? Yeah, but I wouldn't look too much into it. Jeremy Chris says Fredo is really Randall in disguise. KG7 Full says, if you still want Randall on this team, you love losing. MV007 says, CK had too much to drink tonight. Well, maybe you had too much to drink tonight, but call me CK. But no, I didn't have too much to drink tonight. I'm here. I'm lucid. I'm ready. He says he was prepared for the OB Avengers. Free the kids. Shout out to the replay gang. Well, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. It's all out there on the internet. Haiku Homie says, had a dream last night. Obi was born a toe named Big Toby Toppin. Okay. All right. Jackson Shaw says, to add to my previous super chat, the pick could be a dud for multiple reasons. It could be because of injury. It could be because the player is a bust. Or it could be because the coach isn't playing him. Jackson Shaw gets it. Jackson Shaw gets it. Shout out Junior Karoma says, man, this front office is drafted well. Shout out to Leon Rose, Worldwide West, and Scott Perry. And also Steve Mills for drafting RJ, face of the franchise Barrett. Blood of the Pen says, I don't even have to say it anymore, but just because I can, hashtag Obi Avengers, hashtag Free Obi. Eddie Marsh says, do you think Obi and IQ will start next season? No. Depends on the Randall situation, really. Mont Blanc Nolan says, Obi talking about I need to get a plate of food separate, no Lunchables on this side. Yeah, the guy said I was drinking a lot and then called me CK. Can't make it up. Can't make it up. Naruto says, at Gooch for real, RJ is overrated by kids who don't know hoops. Oh, I got that one already. Okay. So back at it, season finale Sunday, Knicks versus Raptors. No RJ, unfortunately. But leave me a comment. Shout out to the replay gang. Knicks win big, 114-92. Big night for Obi Toppin. Let me know your thoughts. I'm out of here, man. Have a good weekend, people. Peace.